So we're gonna start with the first question. That's, do you remember the first time you've seen Osho in your life, and how was it?
See, I saw Osho when I was 4 months old. That was my first time when I saw Osho. Obviously, I don't remember anything. I have no memory of it. But what I've heard from my mom, that I was 4 months old and she had me in her arms, and Osho came to our town, and she brought me. Osho knew that my mom was pregnant. The first time when she met Osho for the first time, she was pregnant with me. And so Osho had told her that now you put your energy into meditation. So she was doing all the meditations that Osho had asked her to do. So when I was born, I was 4 months when he saw me the first time. So what I've heard from my mom is that he saw me and he blessed me, and he told her that she's my child. I will take care of her. You don't have to worry about her. I will take care of her. And that was my first meeting with Osho. And then my second meeting, what I have vague memories of that. My second meeting was when I was 1 year old. My mom took me to a meditation camp in Kulu Manali, or was it Mount Abu, some hill station. And Osho's first camp, that was my first camp with Osho. So Osho was on a stage leading the dynamic meditation, just with the dhoti and no top. He used to wear dhoti and he had a very good looking body at that time. This is in 1970. So he is leading the dynamic meditation, and I was 1 year old. I had gone with my parents, and there was a big ground there, and I'm playing in that ground, and everybody is doing dynamic meditation and catharsis, and Osho is leading it. So imagine the intensity of that camp. And people are going crazy, and people are on the floor, and I am a kid, 1 year old, and it has left such an impression on me, that meditation camp. And what I remember was that I was very attracted to Osho. I was very attracted to his chest. He had a very good looking chest with a lot of hair on his body, hair on the chest, and I felt very attracted towards him. So I would go to him, and he would pick me up, and I would just pull the hair on his chest. And my mom would come because it would hurt him. So my mom would come, and she'll say, no, 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 don't do that. And Osho would tell her, leave her, let her play. And I remember the feeling of love, of security, of warmth, and as if I wanted to just be in his arms. I remember that feeling very strong. And I have always had that feeling with him, even now. Even when he's not here, that feeling of attraction towards him. Maybe because I remember my mom, when she was pregnant with me, both my parents were very attracted towards Osho, because he was very young and my parents were very young. And so that feeling of my mom, that she was so much in love with Osho, my dad was so much in love with Osho, that feeling has stayed with me even now. Even when you say that Osho is not here, that attraction is still there in me. So as a child, I remember playing with him, and I always saw him as my guru, my master, and a father figure. He always took care of me. He took care of my upbringing. He took special interest in my schooling, in my studies. He took special interest of which subjects I was studying, what I was good at. And he always suggested my mom, I should learn dancing. I should be spending more time with my father, because he always said that fathers are so busy earning money that they don't spend enough time with their children. So Osho was very insistent that when my father comes back from home, he should spend time with me. So I don't know, little things. I feel his concern with us and with me has given me a lot of security inside. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So beautiful. So beautiful. So close to the master.
Yeah. Yes. You know,
And
sometimes I always feel that I was not born accidentally in this family.
No.
Like
no,
I have
definitely.
worked hard in my past lives to be born with Osho. In this, I have worked very hard. I don't feel it's by accident, because that longing of many lives is been fulfilled in this life. That's why I'm still here running an Osho center, and I'm single pointedly devoted, without any doubt in me, without any wavering of my mind. I'm single, you know, I love him. And that love continues and grows with time. Even if he's in the body or not in the body, it doesn't matter. Because of such a connection with him, that I was born in this family where Osho was loved so much. My father was, my father loved him, my mom loved him. So it was not just like that I was born.
Definitely not. Wow. And how was your childhood around Osho's world?
Yeah, you know, my childhood is very special with him, very special, because he guided me every stage. He was guiding my mother in every stage of my upbringing, and my father. You know, when I needed my father the most, he was available. When I needed my mom, she was there for me. And when the time came that I wanted to be independent of them, I was at the ranch in America. You know, I was 12 when I went there, and I needed my own independence, my space, and everything happened so at the right stage, at the right time, with right people in this life. I'm amazed. You know, I'm born in the right family. I meet Osho at the right time. I go to his communes at the right time. I leave my family. I was at the right age to be in America. You know, I did all the schooling as well. He made sure that I passed all my education with good grades, living in the commune. So I feel everything he, and you know, his basic concern with me was that I want you to live my vision of the new man. He always told me that, rich in every dimension, not just spiritual, materialistically. You have, you know, you do your studies. He was so insistent on me studying. He
Mhm.
made sure I had the degrees, and I went to the proper college. I did my university degree while living in the ashram. So I was the only exception, that I could live in the ashram, but I had to study and pass all my education with good grades. So Osho, I mean, on one side, Osho was very loving. On another side, he was very strict with me. He was like, you know, I couldn't do my tantrums with him. I tried many times if I could escape school. And I cross-questioned him many times. You know, I cross-questioned him that you always say against education system, you always criticize scholars, you always criticize the PhDs, you make fun of the education system, then why do you want me to study in the same education system that you criticize? Why do you want me to go to the same school that you make, that you think not, you know, you don't think education is good, it's a bad system of education, then why do you want me to do that? And Osho's answer was, this is my criticism, not yours. You have to find your own. And my sannyas is not an escape from the world. I want you to be as confident in the world as you are in my commune. So, you know, he wanted me to be multidimensional. He chose my subjects in my college that were multidimensional. Like, I wanted to study arts, but Osho made sure that I study politics, I study philosophy, I study logic, like multidimensional. So he wanted me to study dance, he wanted me to do painting, he wanted me to work in finance, He wanted, like, every dimension was covered with Osho. So this is his biggest guidance on me, because I would have done one thing. I would have chosen fine arts or something, but Osho didn't make me choose that. He wanted me to study in a big college and have a big exposure and come to the commune and meditate. If I was not doing my meditations, he would come to know. And he would give a message to my mom that Priya was not in the white robe today. She has not been here for 4 days. Where is she? You have to meditate. This is your priority. And everything else also, your personality has to have every dimension covered. My sannyas is a whole sannyas. What does he say? He says, whole man is a holy man. So, completion of your personality. He worked on this with me a lot. In my schooling, in my college, and my relationship with my parents was beautiful because of Osho. He made sure after America, when I came back, my father was not there. He made sure I spent enough time with my dad. And he said that if a daughter doesn't have a good relationship with a father, something is missing. She will always look for that in her boyfriends. You have to go and visit him and spend time with him and his family. He pushed me into that. So he took care of me in very beautiful way. And today I feel so complete. Yeah.
Wow.
That's great.
That should be next to a
It's
master.
a blessing. It's a blessing.
I think this is a reward, that you gained.
It's a reward. It's a reward. I feel blessed. I shared such a beautiful relationship with my mom. We became such good friends because of the commune life, because we had space from each other. She was not just my mother, she was my best friend. I could share everything with her. We were spiritual sisters. We had such a strong bond. That's because of Osho and because of his guidance, that she could give me space when I needed it. She was not on top of me as all Indian mothers are. Osho told her that now you leave Priya. Now she's 12 years old. When I was at the ranch, you will only see her on Sunday. Now she needs to be with her own people. So, at the right time, he knew what I needed. He knew that now I am a teenager and I need to spend more time with my friends and she should not be there. He told her, only when Priya comes to you, you be available. Otherwise, you do not interfere. And all these things, as he did, I became much closer to my mom because of that. And that friendship with my parents was so strong, and that's because of Osho, because of his guidance. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Wow, that's so beautiful. You stayed for Pune 1, the ranch, and
Pune
also
2,
Pune 2, and after
Pune 3,
Pune 3, yes,
and now
yes,
Nisarga
Nisarga.
1, Nisarga 2. I have
yes.
been in all the communes.
Yeah,
All the communes.
we're gonna talk about Nisarga later, but how was it to be a child in the commune? There were another kids to play around. How was it?
To be in the commune is such a great exposure, because you meet so many people from all over the world. Otherwise, you have a very narrow Indian family, very conservative Indian family. Whereas in a commune, you have a broader vision. You meet so many people with different cultures. You have so many aunties and you have so many uncles and you have so many dads and moms. So you have a very rich life. I have lived a very rich life, with so many friends that I could have never lived anywhere else. Even if you have the best, the richest parents and the richest schooling, and you miss something. You miss that love. Whereas in the commune, you're so loved, you're so taken care. And it's a womb where you have a master and you have all these beautiful people living together. You feel expanded. When I went to America at the ranch, it was a big change for me because we came from India and America was a big thing at that time. And so many people, such a big city, and I was 12 when I went. And I felt I learned so much there that I could have never learned in any other school. And so much exposure, you meet so many different people, my God. And all are beautiful people, all have come for only one thing, that's Osho. And you feel safely, it's a big learning. And the schooling with Osho was beautiful. Osho worked on his school on very different angles. His schooling was not a regular school, it was, nobody was made to feel inferior or superior. Every child is unique. So there was nobody better than the other. There was nothing like that. The school was such a beautiful schooling, we had. And Osho worked a lot on flexibility for children. We used to go to many different departments and we had an easy with the change. I remember I was changed in so many different departments. 5 months in this department, then I'm changed and put in a different department to work, then I'm put in a different department. So, you get flexible with change and non-possessiveness of things. He worked on different angles like non-accumulation. These are all the things I've learned being in the commune. Nothing is mine. Everything is shared by everyone, and how to share your stuff and how to share your feelings with other people, how to communicate and how to experience love with so many people. These are the qualities I've learned in the commune as a child. And that is paying me now because I know now how to be with people. I know how flexibility is. I know how to share. I know how to communication, which, it's all these things are schooling in with Osho.
Wow. Such a beautiful life.
Different kind of
Beautiful
school.
childhood.
We didn't have exams. There were no
Mhm.
exams. There were no, it was not a regular school. So there was no teacher beating us and there was no fear. I remember having no fear. This was also a big thing. Osho didn't work on fear. Every child is unique. Somebody is good in poetry, somebody is good in painting, somebody is good in accounting. So Osho made us, it was beautiful.
Tell us a bit, how was it to be in his presence, to talk to him? How was it?
Yeah. I remember everybody used to ask questions to Osho. Osho always asked people to write questions. And sometimes he would call my mom, and sometimes he would also call me. And I would have so many questions going on in my head that this time when I see Osho, I'll ask this question. And this time I have this question, and so many questions going on. As soon as I would enter his room, I would have no questions, as if I would have absolutely no mind. All these questions were outside the room. And as soon as I walk in the room, every question felt so stupid. Actually, I forgot all the questions. His presence was so strong that nothing really mattered, you know. And I would sit there and I had no questions at all. I would just absorb his presence. And then when the meeting would be over and I would leave and go back to my activities outside, again, those questions would come back. But when I'm there, it was nothing. It was silence. I mean, it was not important to ask. Every question felt so silly. There was no question in his presence. This was very strong for me every time I would meet him personally. For sure, I had questions about my schooling. I had a resistance that, I didn't want to leave him and go to school. I wanted to be close to him physically all the time. So when he told me that after America, when we came back, and he told me, now you go and do your schooling with your father, wherever he puts you, because he didn't have a commune that time. He didn't have a place to live. So that was very painful for me. So when he told me to go, he asked me to leave for a couple of years. He wanted me to finish my high school. And Osho, we didn't have a commune that time. He was on the world tour, and we didn't know where we would be. He was looking for a place and going for the world tour. So that time was really difficult for me. Those 2 years, I remember I suffered so much because I had to go out. And obviously he didn't have a place and I could not be with him, you know. I went to Shimla. He put me in Shimla, which is a close by hill station. He put me in a convent hostel. I was there for some time, finishing my high school. And it was a very difficult time for me.
So Neelam was out.
Neelam was on the world tour with him in some places only. Like we went to Nepal, she went to Portugal, or she went to Greece. If you remember that time, we didn't have emails, we didn't have mobile phones. There was no way I could reach anybody. I felt so abandoned.
Wow.
I was back in India after living such a wild life in America, back in India in a hostel. And that was the best thing I could do because I was close to my father and he was taking care, and he had remarried. So the whole thing was very different for me and hard. So those 2 years of separation with him, I felt very difficult. That was like a valley for me. It felt so hard. But that was how it was. And then after that, when he moved to Pune 2, when we called Pune 2 in 88, then he called me back after my high school and he said, now you're back in the ashram. And he told my mom that Priya has learned in these 2 years what I wanted her to learn. Now she is welcome back, but she has to study. She will study outside and live inside the ashram. Like he welcomed me back with open arms. And I was put inside the ashram, but I had to study. And I did very well because I was so happy to be with him, close to him. And I loved the commune so much that, I could have done anything, whatever he said, just to be around him. Okay, if I have to study, I'll study. But I have to be close to you physically. And I studied. I did so well in my exams. I topped all my subjects and I sent him the mark sheet. And he looked at the mark sheet and he said, I knew she would do well. She's my child.
Ah.
And so I made him proud in everything I did because I was so, I felt so blessed to be close to him that I would do anything. Okay, Bhagwan, if you want me to study. I didn't like studying. I hated school. So I did everything to not study. But he made sure because it was an escape from the world, he made sure I go back to the world because he didn't want me to be an escapist. And those 2 years of separation from him actually taught me a lot. I suffered a lot, but separation is also important. It made me independent. It made me independent of all my attachments, with my mom or with Osho or with the commune. I was still loved the commune, but those 2 years were big. When I look back now, I feel those 2 years, he cut the cord of this possessiveness that I had with Osho, this attachment. Those 2 years helped me a lot. Even with love, with so much love, you have to kind of break the attachment or whatever you call it.
And Pune too.
Yeah, Pune too. Then I was welcomed back in Pune too. I studied and I worked in the ashram and I did very well. It was the best time of my life again. After 2 years of being separated, I was even more uh, loving the commune. And it was, that time the commune was at its peak. It was so many people and Osho gave, it was beautiful time. And I was in the college and my college was fantastic. Osho chose my subjects and he said, you're not going to do art. I want you to study different subjects. He chose my subjects like political science and logic, philosophy, psychology. And he said, these are my subjects. These have been my subjects. And I know you'll do very well in these subjects. And to my surprise, I did really well. I was so good in philosophy because all my life I had heard Osho. So, it came very
Yes,
natural to me. I could write
the
pages and
best
pages on
philosopher.
philosophy. I would write that, you know, if the question was on the communism, Karl Marx said this and this, but where he fails and where Osho comes in, I would write that. So every examination of mine, I wrote something about Osho, where this philosopher fails and where Osho comes in and what is his approach. And all my teachers, my professors would call me and they would ask me, who are you? You're not a regular person. Who are you? I said, I'm from Osho commune and I am an Osho sannyasi. That's why you write all these things. This is not a regular person. Regular person would not write all this. And then I brought my professors to the ashram. And a lot of my friends took sannyas. A lot of my friends became Osho lovers. It became a bridge for me to bring those people to the ashram. Yeah. And Pune too was my best time. I did my bachelor's degree in psychology. I did my master's degree in psychology, all living in the ashram with a wildlife. I had no place to study. Ashram had no place. I would find corners where I would study. I didn't find any corners. So I would go to Lao Tzu house, to Osho's house, and find little corners where I could sit and study my exams. And surprisingly, I did so well, because it was so easy for me. It had become so easy because with the life that I had led with Osho, everything became so easy. Yeah. Beautiful master.
Beautiful
Oh,
master.
oh,
Beautiful.
well, being in Pune, I always felt like there was a freshness in the air of the commune. It's like a shower of light and love you had all the time there. Yeah, you could see in people's eyes
It
shining.
was, yeah, absolutely. It was a happening commune. People looked happy and, vibrations and, it was pulsating with energy phenomena. It was beautiful time. Yes. My God.
Mm. What
And
did you see the difference between Pune 1, the branch, and Pune 2 time? You went through the whole experience. What could you say about that?
Yeah, all the communes have been very, like Pune 1 was a different phase of Osho. America was a totally different phase of Osho. Then Pune 2 was a different phase. I have been an insider to all the communes, right? I was not just a visitor. I was an insider. So I know all the communes, like it all had different flavors. Pune 1 was a very innocent, we, uh, I was a, I was a kid. I was, child. I was there from the age 5 to age 12. So I saw in a different way, Osho was more available. Osho was more young. So he was much more, fiery and his discourses had a different feeling. and his sannyasins had long robes and, flowing robes, and it was more easier. Pune 1 was a different flavor. America was a totally different flavor. It was more on work and very hard life, and control. Sheila's, it was just work, work, and work. But I learned so much there. I still say it was the best time of my life, because that was hard life, but it gives you a spine. It gives you, I can deal with many things now because of my experience at the ranch. So, I see it as a very different flavor. And then when the ranch finished and Pune 2 started, it was more easy because we had come from the ranch. It was more easier. And my mom had become the secretary. My mom looked so beautiful at that time. And, Osho was more, again, more available. And uh, yeah, totally different flavors, and all flavors I accept. I love Osho in his totality. I love Osho in uh, uh, everything he does. I have no choice in that. I love every part of him. Yeah.
I have no questions. No.
Yeah.
For a moment, I have no questions.
Yeah.
We just organized. She asks one question, I ask another, but now she's blank.
Can I ask?
You describe your mother. I've seen the interview with the Jyoti. For me, it was the most beautiful interview about Osho I've seen. It was incredible. Your mother was so simple and
Yeah.
so loving, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman and beautiful disciple.
Did you see the video that we made of her in the death and when she died?
No, no, no.
You can find it on our page, Osho Nisarga page, or you can just on the YouTube. You just write Ma Neelam's death celebration.
Okay. Well, your mother was just a beautiful story with Osho, secretary, caretaker, and so on. And Osho was kind of mischievous child, yeah.
She has many stories.
I remember that one about the yogurt in the night.
Yeah, yogurt.
Yeah, that's a famous one. Huh? Then he comes back to India and he's missing Indian food and Indian sweets. When the Western people have left India and he's left with my mom and he wants to eat Indian sweets, and he just, he escapes in the night and opens the fridge and eats the ras malai. Yeah, very cute.
Very
Very
cute,
cute.
yes. And how was it for you to see your mother so close to Osho and doing all the hard job also to deal with
Very hard job.
authorities? And I remember she's telling the problems commune had.
Yeah. Like I remember, because my mom is very simple, a simple housewife, right? She's a simple housewife. She's not done any management courses or something. But my mom is a very good manager. She's very efficient and very relaxed person. I haven't seen anybody who's efficient in work and so relaxed. Usually the efficient people are very stressed.
Yeah.
Like Germans who are very stressed. They're very good in work, efficient, but stressed. She could do so much work. She could do multitasking. She was good in everything and so relaxed and so loving. This combination I've not found in anyone. So, yeah, this was her speciality. And she was love. Even when she became secretary and she had so much power, according to people, she had power. I don't see my mom having power. We didn't go there for all this. We went there because of our love affair with Osho, right? I don't see any status, and neither I am like that, nor my mom is like that we went for any status. But people saw that she has become Osho secretary, whatever. And I have seen, even with that uh, status, her best came out. She gave love even to everyone. Even in that space, she gave her best came out. Some people, like Osho says, power corrupts, power brings, if you have, power brings the worst in you. But with her, power brought the best in her. This I've not seen anywhere else. She was Osho's secretary, but she was love to everyone. And simple housewife, now doing Osho's secretary. So she didn't know how to play politics. When, after when she was working in the office and so much politics would happen around, she would get really frustrated. And she would go to Osho and say, Bhagwan, please, I will be more happy to clean your bathroom somewhere. Can I clean your bathroom? I cannot sit in the office and play all these games. I'm more happy cleaning your bathroom and being your caretaker. And Osho told her, who is the master? You are the guru or I'm the guru? I will decide. When you tell me I am the master, I know what is good for you. You can clean the bathroom for years and no growth will happen to you. If you sit in the office and all these things happen around you, this is where the growth is. Here you will grow fast. And my sannyas is a provocation. You have to live many lives in one life. And I don't have time. Just cleaning a bathroom, you're not going to be provoked. No, your things don't come out. When you sit in the office, so much happens in the office. This is where the growth is. So when you choose me as a master, I will decide where you have to work. You will go back and work in the office. Because every day some meetings and she would come back really, exhausted, and all the politics that happens around with work. Nobody comes when you are a secretary, people come with problems. And then Osho says something to somebody, something, he creates conflicts. And many conflicts would happen. And if no conflict, then Osho would create it. And she never understood, and she'll feel exhausted and she'll say, I'm not going to do this work. You are the one creating the conflict. And Osho would just grin and say, yes, you want me jobless? if you hear these stories of her with Jyoti, I think she has mentioned all these stories.
Yes,
That he'll
yes.
say, you want me jobless? This is my job, to create conflict. So, a lot of stuff happens when you're a secretary. A lot of people project on you. A lot of people have anger on you. A lot of people love you. A lot of things happen, which is not an easy. But Osho was not an easy master from any angle. He would put us where we would not want to be. Like he put me in the schooling. He abandoned me for 2 years because that was where my growth was. He doesn't make life easy. Osho sannyas is not easy. It's a challenge every time you have to grow. You can't go to sleep. And we would love to sleep. And Osho doesn't make us sleep. So I have seen, since she became secretary, all the conflicts, the confusions, the later on, the banning, whatever, all that. It's been an intense journey, really. It would have been easier if she was just cleaning the bathroom, but he put her in the office, and that's where, and I think she was a beautiful secretary who did beautiful. Yeah. Her and mine, we are very close because we had one thing in common, our love for Osho. I supported her in that and she supported me. And my mom was a very wise woman. So every time I needed some guidance, she was the best, perfect person where I would go. I would share everything with her. This was one relationship where I didn't need any filters, I could share anything with her and I knew it would stay inside the room. And she will give me the best advice. And, we were helping, we would help. I would help her in her growth and she'll help me in my growth. So we were very connected. We were very close. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's so beautiful.
What changed for you after Osho left his body?
Nothing really changed for me. I felt much more responsible. I felt now it's my responsibility much more for meditation, much more for working for Osho. I felt, and Osho for me is more of a presence than a person, so his presence continues. So I never feel like he's not there. I feel the same with my mom also. I feel my mom is gone, but her presence is so much here in Nisarga. She's guiding me all through. I don't feel a loss. Neither I feel like that with Osho.
Mhm.
Because he was there as a person, but he's more of a presence and much more stronger after he left his body. Even feel the same with my mom. She had cancer for 5 years, so her body was very sick. And since she has left, I feel she is everywhere. She's much more available and helping me to run the commune. These it's also, much more there. And I feel much more responsible, much single pointedly available for them, and responsible for my own meditation, and responsible to run the commune. And whatever Osho was guiding me in my every stage, and I still feel like he's still guiding me. I get my answers. Whatever question I have, my inner guide or my inner space uh, is now really there much more than when he was in the body. I
Mhm.
feel my inner guide is much more strengthened now that I get my answers. So I don't feel a loss.
Wow, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
not a loss because such souls are much more than the body. They are
Yes.
available in so many different dimensions, which I don't know, but I feel it.
Mhm.
I feel it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's beautiful. I wrote him a question asking about after he's leaving his body. And he says to me, "You're going to find me in your very heartbeat."
That's it.
That's it. That's
It.
absolutely true.
It is true. We think that he's just saying it just like that to make us feel good, but it's not like that. I feel he means it. He's there. He's very much here. And the more I feel I have to meditate, the more I'm, in my meditation. As he says, you have to be regular in your meditations, and stay on the path. I'm on the path. I have not wavered. I've not gone anywhere. I'm still running an Osho commune since I'm since this whole life. And Osho had told me once, Osho told me once that you will always be around my communes, Priya. I'm working on you. So I'm still, and I thought he's just saying it like that. But today I see I'm still in his commune and I'm running the commune. So I feel like whatever he says, he meant it. He's there. He's there.
Wow. Could you tell us a little about Osho Nisarga? How is it? Where is it? How it works?
Osho Nisarga is a very small meditation center in the Himalayas in India. We are situated in Dharamshala, which is the Dalai Lama area. It's a spiritual land of
Mhm.
the gods. So there have been a lot of mystics living here. So we have a very beautiful small center. We can accommodate 50 people at a time. And we have beautiful constructed rooms here. And we have a little stream running in the property. So the water is here all the 12 months. It's a small stream from the Himalayas. The water comes here.
Wow.
And so all the rooms, most of the rooms are constructed in a way that you're facing the riverlet. And in the monsoons, this river becomes really loud and heavy, and it's beautiful and wild. And we run meditation programs here. So we have all the group leaders coming from all over the world. We had now since couple of years, the Western group leaders have not come. But as soon as the international travel becomes more easy, they will come back again. Like we have the Tantra groups happening, Sarita's Tantra group happening. Avikal is leading his trainings and Satori groups. And we have other Indian group leaders coming who are running the regular meditation camps here. So we have at least 32 programs in 1 year. We
Wow.
run 32 programs. So at least in a month, we have 3 programs in 1 month. And I also lead the silent retreat for 21 days every month of February, 21 days of total silence, because this is the best place for silent retreats. And we have Mystic Rose, we have No Mind, we have all Osho meditation therapies and groups happening. So this is a center functioning all the 12 months. We are busy. And now, since COVID is over, all the groups are going full, touch wood, and we are doing well. And we have beginners courses, we have advanced courses. So the minimum is a 4-day course. That's for the beginners. And maximum 21 days, like Mystic Rose and Silent Retreats. In between, we have the dancing courses, we have Sufi, we have many things going on. So because it is located in a remote area, so we have advanced bookings. So anybody who comes has to book in advance. So most of the place is almost full. And sometimes I also open for staycation for people who are long-term sannyasis, who don't really want to do groups, but want to just come and do white robe and kundalini. So it's open also for them. And yeah, so this is a very beautiful, simple, and good food. We have our own farm here, organic farm, where we grow our own vegetables. We have our own cow. The milk comes from there, the curd, the paneer, everything is made homemade. And lots of vegetables, wheat, rice, everything we grow. So we have a big piece of land where only farming happens. So all organic farming happens here. And we have fruit trees, we have lychee trees, mango trees. So we are, it's fun.
Wow.
And we are facing the Dhauladhar range of the Himalayas, which is in the Dharamshala region. So all from the cottages you see the hills, plus you see the river. So Osho loved the combination of hills and river. So when Osho had gone from America to Kulu Manali, when we came back from America, we had stayed in Span resorts in Kulu. That was the first time when we came from America, and my mom was there and I was there. And Osho loved that property so much. He wanted to buy that property because it had river Beas, which was a very strong river in Kulu Manali, and the hills together. And Osho loved it so much that he wanted to buy that land. But it was not possible because it was a government land and they didn't sell. So we couldn't buy that time. So when my mom was seeing the places here in the Himalayas, she wanted to buy because she knew Osho loved hills. So when she saw this property, that it had river plus the mountains, she knew that Osho would love it. And she bought it immediately because she knew this was the combination Osho always wanted, and it didn't happen then. And he always wanted a place for limited people. He didn't want to go back to Pune, if you know that. In Pune too, when we went back, he didn't want to go back to Pune. He wanted to choose his people and have a small community and work intimately with his chosen sannyasins. But it didn't happen that time. And somehow we had to go back to Pune because we couldn't find anything else. So when my mom saw this place, she knew Osho would love it. So we immediately bought it so we have a very beautiful meditation hall facing the river and beautifully constructed, very good construction according to Indian standards. And it's very clean and very good, healthy food. So, and it's small, easily manageable, and it's very intimate. So people who come here often come quite often. It
Wow.
becomes like a home. It's like a spiritual home for many Indian sannyasis who live close by. So it becomes like a family.
Wow.
So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I feel
Let's
like
go,
this.
Biru.
Yes,
Let's
Yes.
go.
I feel this is not an invitation, this is a command. We
We
must go
Yes,
there.
it is.
must go
It
there.
is. How can you be a sannyasin and not come to Osho Nisarga?
Yeah.
Ah,
Sure we
ah,
go. Sure.
Osho.
So Osho is so much here, you have to come here.
Yes,
Yes,
we're gonna go
absolutely.
for sure.
You know, this area is a very simple area because of the monasteries here. Dalai Lama's monastery is close by, Karmapa's monastery is close by, and we are right in the middle. So all these monks, they also wear maroon. We also wear maroon. So it's kind of a maroon city here. So
Cool.
it's a maroon town of
Mm.
monks and Osho sannyasin. So, you know, it's very simple and very innocent place.
Mm.
I wanted to ask you, how do you see Osho's work today for the newcomers? Would you have a message?
As you know, Osho's work is expanding. Sometimes I am so surprised that Osho is gone, Neelam is gone, you know, and still so many new people are pouring in here in Nisarga. And my groups, the beginners courses are full. So, and people are buying Osho's books. I'm giving them, you know, all the recordings of Osho in Hindi. I'm suggesting them, you read this book, you read that book, and people are reading and they're so touched and people are meditating. So his work continues. It will never end. This is, it is a fire, and it's unpredictable how it works. I don't know. It's a mystery. So I don't know. Is his work continues even if Osho is in the body, not in the body. If Neelam is in the body, not in the body. If I am in my body, not in my body, it doesn't matter. It's going to expand. It's going to go on. So I think Osho's work is very much going on as it is. Even if the Pune resort closes down or not many people are going there are so many other centers that people are going. You know, nothing stops. Nothing stops. So I think small centers, there are many small centers in India. I know many small centers are opening and people are doing meditations, running many courses. I don't know about the West so much, I don't know. But in India, I know many places Osho centers are on. So Osho's work is expanding, and I'm also now working on my mom's book. Her book is just going to be out soon. Her
Wow.
Ah,
Because Osho
cool.
had told her to write a book. He gave her the title also, and he told her you have to write, and she wrote the book. And when she was diagnosed with cancer, you know, at that time she had not started the book. She had forgotten that Osho had told her to write. So when she got detected with cancer, she suddenly realized that she has not worked on the book. So she did a deal with Osho and she said that give me a couple of years if you want me to write the book. And you know, she went through chemos and she did a big surgery. It was so hard on the body just because she asked for time and she wanted to write the book. So even in a lot of physical pain, she had a lot of physical pain, she still managed to write. And when the second edit was over, in the next week she was gone.
Mm.
Wow.
So she
Wow.
really fulfilled that thing of Osho. And now I'm putting the book together.
Yes.
And as soon as I have managed it, then I will let you guys know.
Okay,
What is the
please.
title? Could you tell us?
That's a surprise.
Okay, great.
Okay,
That
So
okay,
you
okay.
will come to know. It is such a long title by Osho that I have to read it. So you will know when it comes out.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have an
We
idea
are
when
on the,
it's gonna
yeah.
come? Do you have any
Yeah.
idea when it's gonna come?
You know, every time I think soon and something else comes up, so I don't know
The
I
right
don't know.
time, yeah? The right time.
The right time.
the right time.
Ai,
Ah,
beautiful.
yes.
Ai, beautiful, very beautiful. Eu queria que você falasse para ela da nossa experiência de gravar as entrevistas com o Osho e como isso tem crescido e como isso tem atingido as pessoas também e a importância de deixar esses relatos.
Okay. She's saying that we started this program almost 2 years ago, and it's so beautiful when we ask sannyasins friends to come and share, and it's connecting people very much. We have the sum of 85,000 views up to now.
Wow.
And people enjoy it very, very much. We had so many beautiful interviews with Jyoti, Miten, Vasant. Vasant also, do you know him? He
Vasant.
was the
Yes,
bodyguard.
yes, yes.
He's a
Yes,
beautiful guy, and he
yes,
loves your
beautiful.
mom. He loves your
Yes.
mom so much. Well, we keep doing our job. We had 70 interviews up to now.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Wow, that's
Wonderful.
beautiful. Miteng,
Wonderful.
Maniko, Anisha, all the
Wow.
crazy guys like Nivedanu too.
Gayan.
Gayan also, we had
Beautiful.
beautiful one with Gayan. Miteng gave us an interview.
An
It was
interview.
beautiful.
Beautiful. Very
Beautiful,
beautiful.
beautiful, beautiful.
Beautiful. Very
We
nice.
sent to you the Miten's interview.
Yes, yes, yes. Please do.
As soon as possible, we come to Nisarga.
Yes, please
That's a
do.
promise.
Please.
Hug
That,
you.
yeah, please. Most
That's a
welcome.
promise. That's a promise.
Most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you,
Thank you,
Priya.
Divya. Thank you.
Osho.
Beautiful. Osho.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.